Just got chased by a snake. Maybe not so much. You know what? Stay with us. Okay, so I put on this lab coat, my glasses. I'm even going to put this pin in my pocket. Now you know I'm the real deal. I'll say it again. Snakes do not chase people. Let's find out why. Okay, so let's talk about this for a minute. Now, there's a lot of people out there that say, man, I was chased by a snake. You can't tell me any different. I know I was chased by a snake. I'm not going to tell you that you're lying. I'm not going to try to discredit with you because I firmly believe that you think you were chased by a snake. But that is absolutely not what's happened. Now let's look at snake behavior just a little bit. A snake doesn't want anything to do with you. Now, when you encounter a snake in the wild, their first thing that they're going to do is to remain motionless and hope that their camouflage has concealed them and you don't even see them. Now, if they think that you've seen them, they are going to try to make haste and get away just as quickly as they can. Now, if they can't get away, they may bluff, like a rattlesnake may rattle or a bull snake may puff up and hiss at you, and they may even strike to back you off just a little bit, but that's not chasing you. They're absolutely not chasing you. Now, you may be between where that snake is and where that snake wants to be. A snake knows his territory very, very well. He knows every rock, every hole in the ground, every tree stump. He knows all the best places to hide. It's a survival thing for a snake. So if you happen to be between where that snake needs to go, where he wants to hide, he may advance towards you. He's only trying to get to that spot behind you. He wants nothing to do with you. If you step to the side, he's going to go right by you. He doesn't want to chase you. What's he going to do if he does catch you? Nothing. A snake is not really built to take out an average sized human. They don't chase people. They simply don't. Now let's look through the literature. If you were to go through all of the herpetology literature from the day that we founded this country and people started taking notes, there's not a single account of anybody being chased by a snake. Now, in all of my hundreds and thousands and thousands and thousands of hours in working with snakes and such, never been chased by a snake, not in the wild and not in captivity. I've also looked on YouTube, and if I pull up snake videos, I get 124 million hits, 124 million snake videos of snakes doing different snake stuff. And not one of them, not one, is a legitimate snake chasing a person because it simply doesn't happen. Now let's look at some of the notorious snakes that we kind of we tend to ascribe this to. The cottonmouth, for one. Now a cottonmouth lives on the ground. He's got a bunch of rocks and foliage around him. He doesn't have very good eyesight. He hasn't developed very good eyesight because he doesn't need very good eyesight for where that snake lives. He's got a good, strong sense of smell. He's got the loreal pits, the heat-seeking pits, the pit vipers, but his eyesight is not all that great. So he's not going to see you from across the field. He's not going to see you from across the lake. Now, what often happens is fishermen will set up and go fishing in the place where there's no weeds, there's an open bank, somewhere like that. Why not? That's where you go fishing, where you can actually get in and cast your reel and all of that good stuff because it's nice and clear. Well, a snake's going to use that as well. He knows that's a nice open bank. He doesn't have to struggle too much to get up onto the bank. He may be swimming to go back to the woods and do what snakes do. You just might happen to be there. He doesn't even know you're there until he gets a little bit close. You freak out, the snake goes the other way, you run one way, and you think that the snake has been coming at you and chasing you. Absolutely not what's happening. Now, a snake is very slow by any standards. You know, some of the fastest snakes in the world, the black mamba, you can outrun one of those snakes. They're not going to chase you. Again, if they catch you, what are they going to do? Snake wants nothing to do with you. Now let's look at the black mamba. I have worked with black mambas many, many times, and I've made some pretty darn angry. Never had one chase me. Now, I have had them back me off just a little bit. Once I got a little bit too in their face, they've backed me off just a little bit, but they didn't chase me. They certainly didn't chase me because that's simply not what snakes do. So if someone was to tell you that they were chased by a snake, first of all, don't tell them they're a liar because in their mind, they probably believe that they were chased by a snake. Now, Let me give you a story here real quick. When I was a little kid, we had this very dark basement, and sometimes I would have to go down there to get cans of food or something like that. And I would go and get what I needed, and I would run back up those stairs just as quick as I could because I was positive I was being chased by a monster. And in my mind, that was very, very real. So the mind can play tricks on us, especially if you're encountering a snake. You're not all about snakes, you're scared of snakes. Your mind's going to conjure up some very, very wicked thoughts while you're trying to get away from that animal. But he's definitely not chasing you. He wants absolutely nothing to do with you. So again, snakes simply don't chase people. So before you leave us a bunch of nasty comments in the bottom, kind of think about everything that we've talked about and just realize next time you see a snake, stand your ground or turn around and walk away, but that snake is not going to chase you. Thanks.